Hey, Super Arts here, and Merry Christmas. So today, I'm going to talk about the economy of Diablo 2 Resurrected further. After playing it, obviously after 3 months, I kind of like feel like getting 10 world ruins in a month is a totally doable object, but it does require some skills and different mindset, etc. I think I read it somewhere that people were saying by average you keep farming, maybe after 2 or 3 months you get like 2 bursts to make yourself enigma. That obviously is a little bit slow, and the question is like, can we do better? If we can, how can we do that? And what is the theory behind all this? So today we are going to go through this, but firstly, I think I need to talk about a very important thing, which is your playstyle. So playing games, different people play games for different reasons, and they are very different. And if you try to just go with something that just is not really your style, I would say in the end you will end up wasting your time and not getting the fun and kind of like ruin the game, etc. But I see some trend online which I really don't like is that people tend to just hate others' playstyle. So that's what I'm trying to say here. So firstly, keep your own style, and secondly, don't just be a dick and criticize others' playstyle because this will not get you anywhere. Just stick to your own style and achieve your own goal. That is most important thing for you. And if you just go downvoting people randomly, being a jerk, that won't benefit you, and you will just waste your time and by not being constructive. And I will explain the theory behind this further. But firstly, let's take a look at the different play styles here. So basically, this small matrix just represents what do you do when you play a game. So whether you are selling and whether you are betting, how active you are. So firstly, if you are not buying or selling, then this guide doesn't really work for you too much because in the end, if you get like 10 birds and you don't have a jar, then you still don't have an enigma. And basically you just keep playing. Some content still applies, but mostly I don't think you can get like 10 birds worth of value, but I mean, even you get 10 birds in a month, then what do you do with them if you cannot trade? You just make like all the high infinity and I don't know. So basically, the theory here is that uh, the self funding is a fun style for some people, but it's very low efficient for obvious reason. So we will kind of like bypass this section. And for some people like me, I'm the type of person who mostly selling because the reason behind this is that I play the game mostly for fun, and play when I play for fun, I want to in, I basically feel like I'm keep evolving, and that's basically the whole point of RPG. In your real life, you let's say learn a language, you need to spend like 1, 2, 3 years and play an instrument, the same thing. Um, by the way, this is some tool I wrote, which prompt me when someone is trying to get a circuit quest, and I will be selling them, and that make me fall down to the service provider section. I'll go through that part later. And Okay, so let me continue. More selling. So basically, I play game for fun, and in game, unlike in real life, you evolve a lot, very frequently, and you feel you're being stronger. And some people like me, I kind of enjoy the feeling that I just get some item I want, I farm something I want, I start to use them, and like my efficient is like started with 10, 11, 12, jump up to like 100, keep like feeling myself being evolved. Is this the most efficient way? No, of course not. You should make some investment. You should buy the key items that will help you start like just flying. For example, if you are a sorceress, you want maybe you want to buy some like cheap items like perfect tobas to boost your MF. And instead of like farming cows for 2 hours, if you could just spend like a little bit amount of money buying something, and then like spend something to buy like a shard or something to give you 40 FR FCR, so you can teleport more efficiently. So that is more important, more efficient. But like me, if you just want to take it slow, it's a no. There's no problem doing that. Just make sure that you acknowledge that is not the most efficient way. I play this style, I know it. The other style I'm not going to cover a lot in this guide is mostly buying. So basically, you just save, you just either use real life money or whatever, I don't care. So just buy things mostly. And by doing this, you are not a good player. So basically, you are a bad player because you just want to get there. You don't want to like enjoy the process of being stronger. But is it a bad thing? No. Like if you suit your style, that's perfectly fine. And I know like suppose people can make like $200 an hour, then why would you just grinding in a game if you don't like it? So it's perfectly fine to buy things, and there's no harm doing that. And if you ask me, I would like to like sell things for like either real money or some like currency or whatever. Like yeah, because that's why like I want to jump a little back to like what determines what is real value sit in the items and even the real life money, these kind of things. So basically, money is not equal. Some people burn with a lot of money, some people are not. But there is one thing that is sort of equal, which is your life. You only have one life, and if you are super lucky, you have like a really good genes, or like you can afford super good medical care. Yeah, you may be able to live to like 90 or 100 or something. And if you have bad luck or something, you still have like hopefully 30, 40 years to live. So that is like less than most of the time less than 50% difference. And this is considered like a huge equal thing among all the humanity. And if that's the case, then like I mean, for the wealth wise, it could be easily like a million times different. But yeah, in life, it's mostly like mostly everyone's equal. And in this case, what forms your life? That's time. That's every second. I'm spending this. That's every second you are listening to this, and while you are doing that, you are spending your precious time. And this same thing applies for like farming, for something like earn money, for something like trading, talking to people. Yeah, everything this is equal. Just keep this in mind. This is a very basic mindset I'm using across the board. And if you are like active, you are actively like a trading, that make you an active trader. As you said, you could be like either really good at like efficient farming, so you just buy and sell things efficiently and start farming efficiently, or like you can simply fleeting. No problem with doing that. I will explain this part later. And last but not least is a service provider, which is you spend your invaluable life, aka time, and to get something in the game. And let's see how efficient these things are. Unlike all the other things, when I read this, I didn't really have something in my mind. I just have a concept, but when it comes down to numbers, like 10 bers a month, I know it's achievable because I did that. But how did I do that? Was I like most different, most efficient? I don't really know. Now let's just have a look. So firstly, let's say like as a seller, you basically actively farming and sell things you accumulate and you don't use. Here are some guide here, but most importantly, you gather things from farming. and how efficient that can be. Let's take a look. So I use this some Chinese website because it has the newest data. And it mentioned that some data, like a lot of them are using like 1.11 job rate, so not very accurate. So like based on D2 Planner, he got something, and he basically translated the information to something that is easier to understand. And I will just give you his conclusion. So the method he's using is that so in like a one player mode, in hell mode, a white cow the job. So he used this as a basic unit, which is kind of brilliant. And here's the thing that when it's will aim to burn, how many runs you will need. But that is not very good because you kind of may want to use a sir and a jar and the birds, calculate them together. And if you put these high runs together, what numbers you get? So let's take a look. So like so one round of cow level, that is around 400 because cow level there are about 450, and you don't want to do full clear with every single cow kill. That is slow. You have to move around all the time, move around really fast. And if you do that, most likely you will kill like around 400 cows. And in this case, to get a per value, you will need to run like 450. And if you do it in the 8-player mode, which is means I think 4 same players in the same cow level, you could do it with meal, or you could do it with the split farming, but that would make you like about more than 2 times efficient if you clear at the same time. And the net number is like 197 runs, you will get 1 bird. So now let's take a look. So if we take the number as a 1-player mode, that would be 450 runs, about, should be 451. And how many runs you can do? I guess most players will fall into the skill range that you can do around 5 minutes per cow level. I think it's very close to 1 player to 8 player if you use some like scalable builds like Java Zone. And if you do that, so now this is dangerous assumption, which is maybe like some sort of wrong, but let's just take a number here. Let's say 10 runs an hour, because you need to obviously find the lens, you need to take your bathroom break, whatever, like a water break or something, and that weather. Okay. So do I have? Okay, I could sell another request, but I'm not doing that since I'm recording a meeting, recording a video. But yeah, so that is basically we can see that is the time that I could get, and profit from that, and let us just keep going. So for like 1 people, the net will be like 0.1, which means around 45 hours. Let's say if you are like twice good as I am, I think this is basically a dangerous assumption. I don't think people can really finish a run in 3 minutes. I think 3.5 is a very good run, but let's say you're really good, then maybe you can get 20, 22, 23 hours of burn. And that is kind of like if you do 8 player and do 5 minutes, it will be like similar, like 20 hours. So let's put it as like 25 to 45 hours per bird. And if you can farm, let's say if you're not really some really crazy farmer, and you play like as a play it as a full-time job or part-time job, then we can say that you a week you can get a ber, so which means 1 week a ber. And if you play it because you really like it and like you work overtime, like I will work overtime like during the Christmas season, and if you really like work, then maybe you can get 2 ber. So let's say you could get 1 to 2 bers, and that means like a month you can get 4 to 8 bers. So very close to 10 birds, which means it is totally doable if you farm every single day, spend 6 to 8 hours a day, and start farming keep farming during the weekend, and you could get like 10 birds, because of course you can get some like other things that you can sell like PGMs obviously, other low rooms, why not? And ethereal enhanced 4 socket thresher. That's kind of like a lot of money as well. I mean, a lot of ruins, but yeah. So in the end, this is totally doable, but you need to constantly do it, and I don't think everyone can do that. And I definitely didn't do that myself. So, but you can do it. It's achievable. But you need to mention that you need to keep it in mind that you should not hoard low tier items, because that will simply drop your efficiency. Something like some normal currency, like like PGMs, so that is some like a steady income. So again, all the talk is about the Christmas season in 2021. The economy, the price is about this time. So let's take a look. So let's say if I think by average, I kind of feel like you could get like 2 PGMs a run and per cow run. So that means if you do the numbers like this, let's say you do like if you get 1 ber, so that is 450, and if you get like 10 bers, you are aiming for like 4,500. And if by doing that run, let's say you have like 4,000 runs a month, and how much? So net equals to 8k PGM, and this is close to 8 ber. So when I say don't hoard low tier item, that means something like I don't really know. So like Oculus and I don't know. Okay, another socket quest. So do we have random socket quest? Yeah. So I could sell 3 by now, but I choose not to. But anyway, like we got so don't I mean like Black Hades and some like low inside whatever, I don't know. So these kind of things that really they take a lot of time for you to sell. So they do have value. They of course like more than a PGM, but they take a lot of time to sell, and you better use that time to keep farming. So and for things like PGM, it's good because you could sell it at when you have like 2, 3, 400 or like 600, or and sell them together. I mean, I was buying things I offer people like high ruins. Now, like I could maybe offer things like low, but back in the day, I just it was like something like a ohm or something, so I could like buy things like that. And when you do that, you will be like be able to like if you keep doing this, then still this steady incomes, you may want to do this. And another thing is that what if you have multiple accounts? Of course, in this case, you can make your currents efficient, and you could do something like the health run and the sell socket quest. I will like talk about the socket quest maybe later, but let's say about the health run. So this is totally different calculation. So firstly, let's take one step back. Why we are talking about the cow level? This is because it's easier to calculate, and The most efficient runs, including the bug sealed opening run in chaos, slightly better than cal, and Travancore, which is slightly worse than cal, but they are all very similar. Cal requires at least, perhaps at least gear. The others, still not so high. Maybe cal also requires the most like the best gear, but yeah, still it's not undoable. And but all in all, they are very close. I would say the efficiency is less than like 20% up and down. So in this case, call level is a very good example to represent farming. And another way of farm is doing the Helford run. So suppose you have you have 8 accounts in total. That's some calculation, and you have 8 accounts, and usually you can and you have like a crusher, which is the most efficient way you can achieve the health run. And in this case, how many runs I mean, how much profit you can get. So let's take a look. So usually you can take like 40 to 45 minutes to get all 50, depends on how good you are, how experienced you are, to get a level, to get all the meals to the health forge. I think it still take a lot of time to just drop to crash to crash the health forge, because you need to do it one by one for each account. I think 1.5 hour to finish all runs, both the nightmare and the hell. So that is a good enough assumption. And if with that in mind, there's some calculation here. So the best you can get for is a ghoul. The worst you can get is some useless soul or something, I forgot. But yeah, so by average is lamb, but lamb is not very good for the calculation, because if you calculate the value, it's different. But in the end, by average, I'm just doing some rough calculation. I think for the hell difficulty is maybe, including the PGM, you can get like 20 PGM worth of value, and for nightmare you can get like maybe 50, sorry 15, or maybe better. Let's just put number 40 PGMs here. So 40 PGM in like 1 and 4 hour. I'm just trying to figure out some number that is easier to calculate. So maybe 30 PGMs per hour. So if that's the case, then again, if we play it 40 hours, that is 40. Yeah, so it's 1,000 K maybe a week, and that is about 5K a month. Again, so very similar to running a call level. So why would you do this? Actually, I'm asking me. So if I could use the same time like farming cows, why would I do that? I think the answer is no. You don't really have a good reason to do this. I'm doing this, and I'm kind of having the similar income. But yeah, so if you do this, so basically this is if you can still get 10K, which is 10 bers a month. So that is but that means you keep playing almost every day. So why I'm doing this? I think the reason is that I can still get the socket quest. So let's say I finish all this run. So this run would give me 30 PG value, but it can also give me per run. Oh, wait a second, what I'm talking about? I was stupid. So this is one account. So one account is one account is for is 30 PJ, so 7 accounts, that is about 200 PJ. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, of course it's better. It has to be better because you invested a lot of money buying so many accounts. It has to be better. So in this case, you can get like 200 PGs an hour of value, which means like if it's by 40, then it's 8K, and a month that will be 32K, which is again 32 bers a month. Yeah, of course it's better. By the way, I was doing that like only for like 3 accounts, 3 mil accounts at most. So and I played much less. So this is the number here. Is you only play this. So like you only play 8 hours. Sorry, 40 hours a month, a week. Still a lot, but you could by achieve this goal, you need to double the like the time. So which means the income you can see here is much better. But again, you need to invest in real life money. So whether it's worth it or not, I don't really know. And yeah, so as a seller, you can achieve 10 bers if you play this much. And 10 bers, like you just play a couple of hours, but if you do it with multiple accounts, doing the powerful run, then yeah, you can you don't have to play a lot, and still you can get 10 bers a month. I think that is mostly what I'm doing, but I'm doing a combination between the seller and the trader. So for like a trader, firstly, I want to say that I know a lot of people hate flipping because they think their item is lose value because of trader, but no. This is, if you think about it this way, dare I say, you will be a sore loser in the real life, because in that case you will think, nah, stock market, what the value it provides, like all the like Wall Street things, that all lies, blah blah. No, that is not true. Because why? Because let's say in Diablo 2 Resurrected, what value it provides? So basically save your time. So if a trader can buy your things like in a minute versus you spend like 10 minutes finding something, that's 9 minutes saved, and 9 minutes belongs to your life. So as I said, life is a precious resource. You don't want to waste it. Sometimes you don't feel like you're wasting it. Like what I'm doing right now, actually I am wasting my life, because I know that not a lot of like players will be watching this video. So how much money I can get, how much like it's definitely not worth the time I'm making this video. But on the other hand, we don't live our life in the most efficient way. So that's why we are not Aaron is a trader, and I'm making this video. But all in all, you should appreciate the value they provide, because again, it saves time in the market, and they bring things up to the real value in the market. And that is whether a good thing or not, a bad thing is hard to say, but that is the important thing. And then, if you decide to be a trader, perhaps you don't need to like ask me how to do that. I'm a pretty bad trader, but again, let's take a look. What would you flip? So basically, you just find things that there's a gap between the buy and the sell. Let's say like Enigma. So what people are trying to get, yeah. So some people are saying like it's selling at the bar and the jar, which I say, oh no, he needs bar. He needs bar and jar. And when you like, so you can get some really good deal here, and here. Yeah, some people offer like 3 bers or something. So basically, you find the price difference. So and then you start like flipping, and then you are running into the risk of like having something just stuck in your hand, but sometimes you can earn. And I can give you like 2 examples. One is things really like expensive things like Enigma, and the other thing is that some really stable things like PGMs. I do PGM mostly because of PGMs. Everyone uses it in most like the same way, and people treat it as a very similar value. So in that case, you kind of like do it if you hit a risk. And if you want to do like expensive things like Burr or Jar or like Enigma, then in that case, you need to understand what you are selling. very well. Like for example, Infinity White Thrasher is the most expensive one. White CV is not expensive, and how much people would pay for cheap in or Infinity. So these kind of things you need to understand, and hopefully as a player you need to figure it out by yourself and use your best judgment, your experience, and your knowledge to make your judgment. So for trader parties, there's a lot to talk about, but I am not a very good trader because I hate risk. I don't want things to stuck in my hand. So in that case, I don't have much to say. But as a trader, I'm pretty sure if you are really good, you can really make really big money, and the principle applies in real life. I see people some new people started playing from October, and they get hundreds of bers in their account. But yeah, and one thing I know Blizzard has their TOC that is against real money trading. But if you really want to achieve the most goal as a trader, you will have to jump into that section. So that is the same thing as in real life. Black market also give you the most the biggest profit, but you are having the biggest risk. Of course you could get a account ban for that for obvious reason, and you could get scammed by scammers around. I'll talk about scammers in one section, but yeah, so you have a bigger risk and you have a more profit, and unlike for scammer, spoiler alert, I discourage that. I suggest people should not do that from the economical point of view. But for a real money trader, that is something you can do because it's not against the law. It's against the TOC, but your liability is limited as your account. So in that case, if you can afford the risk, feel free to do so. And I'm not doing that myself. I don't know how to do it. I don't even know how many markets are there. But as you can see, I can read Chinese. So if you are like me, if you know more languages, then you can find more markets. You can just flip in between them. There are a couple of ways of doing that. I'm pretty sure it's very very easy for you to achieve 10 bers, 100 bers a month. Perhaps not a problem. Of course, if it's me, I would use net money to net much because I know 10 bers is around how much money? So 200 bucks or maybe 2,000 bucks as a trader. So that's not bad. But as a real trader in real life, you're flipping things on eBay, and then you start a company, you pay less tax, then you can get maybe 10,000 a month. So I mean real money. So yeah, but if you like it, go for it. I don't see a problem with that. And there's another thing, it's called a service provider, which is a little bit tricky because some people think they are ruining the game. But again, if you don't want to play game in the most efficient way, it's up to you. If you can download people that you don't like, that's your freedom. If you have all your power on Reddit, you have enough karma doing that, is your problem. But that doesn't change anything. Simply, if you suck, you still suck because in the end, everyone kind of will respect the streamers because they put the most time in it and they will achieve the most. I don't see anyone see a problem because they're doing it for a life. They're doing it professionally. They are earning money by showing how high vision they are, and it's very interesting because when people are accusing people accusing others being a trader or being a flipper, being a service provider, they are kind of think they are ruining the game. Then how come stream doesn't ruin the game by showing people the most efficient way? Why you just play it in the least efficient way, self-funding, and you keep everything? I don't know that you can. It's hard to be the best, but you can suck in 1,000 ways. If you want to do it, it's fine. It's up to you. You want to keep that way, you want to say others are bad, it's up to you. But again, net judgment doesn't change the fact that you suck. Now, back to the question. So, based on this, let's do some calculation. So, for people who don't know, C rush is that it's called a classic rush, which will create a classic char character. You rush it to have a act 3 convert to expansion. Most likely you need to finish Act 4 to do the health push. Got Act 5 so that you can sell your socket quest, you can prepare your socket quest, and that is some like a stable income. And in 1 hour, how much you can achieve. So again, let's take 7 accounts into account. So in that case, the price for Siraj now is 1 East, which is about 40 to 50 PGMs. Let's put 30 here. And it's very, very hard, by the way, to get like 7 players on the run. But if you can do that, how much that would be? That would be 300 PGMs an hour, because you don't need 1 hour to achieve this. And this is 1 hour. And for 10 bers, how much money how much time you need? So that is like 10,000 divided by 300, so that is 33 hours. So yeah, it's very, very simple to achieve like 10 bers. And but again, it's very hard. You may be able to only like get a rush 1, and but doing that, most likely you won't be able to earn any other income. But in the end, as you can see, this is a very good way of doing the run. Making the profit. For G-Rush, I don't know this. I think it's similar. Basically, you need to find a bumper who like bump you to bump you the bell quests. And I think it takes around 1 hour, maybe less, but you can only rush 6 chars, and usually you pay the bumper. So in that case, you only get like maybe this number. So which is still kind of close, so maybe 40 hours. I don't know the cottage. Actually, I think I'm right. So like 10 bers is 40 hours, and which is quite close. And in this case, you don't need a G rush. I mean, you don't need a classic character. You don't need to play the classic mode. So that's a good thing. So that's why like G rush are more. There are more than C rush. But I can do C rush. I don't want to do G rush because finding bumper is kind of a pain. But yeah, that is how people are doing this business, and you can see why. Because this simply is way better than you are farming. Like this is about 10 times better. That is why people are doing this. And like when you are listening to my my prompt, I was selling quest. So quest is like around I would say a mar ruin. So that is about 25-30 PGMs. In that case, so like when you are preparing this, you don't only get the health jobs, you also get the socket quests. And socket quests, that is like 7 character and 3 quests each, and that's a 20 here. So 20 PGMs. And this is again need 1.5 hours to prepare, and this is 41 PGMs, and that is that is 4 bers simply from 1 hour of run. So this seems to be really good, but you will never ever get this number because you cannot sell them that easily, like as you can sell like Burns, PGMs, or whatever. Yes, they take time to sell, but for this it takes ages to sell. As you can see, I was talking almost for how much? Do I have timer here? Yeah, 40 minutes. So I could sell 2 to 3 socket quests, which only gives me like 40 PG. So basically, you prepare this. Yeah, that is like 4 bars in your bank, but you cannot cash it. So let's say let's say if I can sell 3 in an hour, so that is 40. And how much you can get? they can sell 40, like sell 60 an hour, so 10 hours now to be like this number, and 40 is like for a week. So remember, this is on top of the health watch. So on health watch is really good already. You could get a lot of burr. But for this case, you can get like around 10, around 10 burrs, 9 burrs a month just by selling things. And making it take time, selling things, yes, still take time, but pay much less. Because you basically create a game, tell someone, he joins, just okay, they create like 2 minutes. And for 2 minutes, if it's 2 minutes, then like to sell like okay, so how many we can sell? So let's say we sell 2 minutes in 2 minutes in 1 hour. So that means like you spend 6 minutes in 1 hour to sell. So that is like 10% of your time. So if you basically if you are AFK or something, you can earn steady income by selling socket quests, and that is what I'm doing. And Enchanter stories, I don't know about the price, so I'm not going to talk about it. And there are other things like account parking and rushing to get a socket quest. By the way, that is actually really cheap. I don't know why people are doing that. I still don't get it. Like people are just say, hey, give me 5 P gems, I will rush you to normal like difficulties quests. Why you would do that? Yes, maybe just 5 minutes or something, but you can use that 5 minutes, to finish a core level, and that could give you like 2-3 P gems, or like 2 P gems at least, and you can get the chance. You have the chance to get all the jobs. So it's really close. And why you would do that? I still don't really know why we are doing that. Maybe like if you can find 7 people, so that is like for 35 PGMs, so that offers much better. But still, I don't know why you don't just buy a new copy of Diablo and run your own cell health. That is like way better. But anyway, people have their own choices, and thanks to their choices, we get the price we have. So there's no one people determine the price. The price is the result of the gambling between the seller and the seller and the buyer, and we always respect that. So last but not least, what about scammer? So again, I won't talk about a lot of this. There are ways to scam. I don't want to talk about this, and I'm just talking about why doing it is really bad idea. Because yes, earning like $10 an hour is not very efficient, but still you have fun. That's not the worst way to spend your life. But you know what is the worst way to spend your life? It's number one is suicide, and the second, number two, is to do something illegal. Because in that case, you have the risk to run into jail. And when you are in jail, you lose your life. So don't do that, because scamming even for like cyber goods, it's still a crime. So if you get basically the lawmakers to make it the like calculation very simple. If you just scam like $1,000, like very hard to catch you, no big deal. But you just end up $1,000. You just pay like maybe like 1-2 months of rent. That's it. And if you keep doing like, you'll be caught eventually. So that is number one of the law of the crime, which is you don't repeat that. If you do that, you just steal like $1 million and then get around. I see people doing that with all the like stock things. I mean, this is like are they stupid? I don't call them stupid. I think what is stupid is like the system who allow them to do that. But on the other hand, let's say if you just scam little by little, and when you reach to some like maybe 10K, 20K mark, you will get caught. And just for that very like just maybe worth 1 year of labor of you will end up in the jail for like the same amount or maybe more time. And that is really bad way to spend your life, to spend your precious life as a resource. So don't do that. That is not a very good idea. And if you really want to commit some crime, I mean, I'm not encouraging people to do that, but I would say there are some like blurry things. And I think in most cases, like crime is doesn't worth it. But if you, I don't know, I mean, if I can think about any way that is crime is good, like at least it's provide a positive like expectation. I would do it myself, but no, I cannot think about any of that. I mean, the reason, the thing example I was thinking in my mind was something like so play some like stock thing and get I heard someone like get like maybe $1 million from like some bigger corporation because they may mess up something. So it's kind of like a blackmail thing, but yeah, forget about details. But basically, he just got away because they didn't really chase him because they didn't want to like spend legal fee or something. I never forgot. So basically, you search it on Reddit, you see this kind of news, but most likely you are not able to reproduce them. And if you want to do that, then you either like end up poorly or like you just waste your time. So yeah, again, scam in the end is not a very good like a way of making profit, and you are destroying reputation. You are making yourself a bad person, but most likely it doesn't worth it. So that's the end of this video, and Merry Christmas to you guys all.